Hi, this is Rose from Jewelry Designs by Rose. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all my subscribers. Today I'm going to show you some jewelry designs that I made with the November bargain bead box. And I'm also going to show you some basic wire beading. So if you're not familiar with making jewelry and you just want the basic steps to create a wire necklace, I'm gonna show that today and make a really pretty design. So please stay tuned, and if you like my designs, please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is one design that I created with the crystals in between. It looks really nice, as well as a drop from a prior bargain bead box. And this one here has the leaves, the pink leaves, and it has some green hanging beads as well. This next design has the leaves. I did a link to it with red beads and the crystals in between. It came really nice, and I used a chain around the neck area and on the bottom, and then I added one of the pink, actually rose gold drops from a prior bargain bead box. And then this design right here, I used some seed beads. It's a really pretty color. I wish the color you could see a little bit better here. It's kind of a beige, creamy color, and I use the crystals in between as well as some of the red beads. It looks really pretty. Again, I wish you could see it a little bit better because it came out really nice. This is the design that I made with some bright, shiny red seed beads. And basically, I started this design, and I'm going to finish it with you so you could see how I, finish it off, add the clasp to it, and see the final designs. Try to show you a close-up of the little red beads because they're really cute, shiny seed beads, and they just make the whole necklace really pop. So you can see those in between here. I put the leaf in between on each side, and then I put some of the green beads in between. So it's kind of a Christmassy, but it also has the rose gold. So I really like this necklace as a kind of Christmassy necklace. So as you can see here, there's the green beads, and I use the rose gold flower beads on the ends of them, and came out really, really nice. I really like this design. So I'm gonna go start adding the final red beads. So I use the red beads from the December bargain bead box. And so I'm just going to add first the wire to the leaf so that I can add those additional red beads that I need for the other side. So basically you need a crimp bead and you need a crimp cover. You're going to need some flat nose pliers and some crimping pliers as well. Really help. You don't have to use crimp pliers or crimp cover, but I highly recommend it because it just gives it a nice finish. So you're going to put the crimp bead on the wire, and then you're going to wrap the wire inside the leaf and then in the crimp bead. And so you want to put it kind of close to the leaf, but not too close because you want it to be loose enough to move around a little bit. If it's too tight, it'll be kind of stiff. So then I'm using the crimping pliers, and I'm using the last little hole or indent on the pliers, and that creates like a V. And then you want to just check your wire and make sure that it is tight, but you can see the V here, and then the second indent on the pliers will close that V up. Then you just pull on it to make sure that it is tight. The pliers I use are the Xeron pliers. They're a really good quality pliers. You can see the number on here is 494. So I would highly recommend these pliers. I've used them for a long time now. They'll last you 30 plus years and they're not that expensive. So once you have that, then you're going to put on the crimp cover to cover that crimping bead. It makes a nice finished look to the necklace. And once you put that on, and now I'm using the rose gold, and they're usually made with a metal that is kind of hard. And so when you have these really hard beads and you try to use a flat nose plier, it makes it kind of difficult to close it. It doesn't want to close right. It doesn't, you have a lot of issues. So what I like to use are these crimping pliers. And basically, these are a little bit different crimping pliers. These at the end have kind of a round closure to it. And so what I basically do is I go around the crimp cover so that it forms a round bead so that I can get a nice even round ball and close it. So that's what I'm basically doing is I'm just slowly going around, and these pliers also make it a lot easier to close the crimp cover because it's more heavy duty. And so just keep going around and looking at it until you know all the surfaces are completely round. And so that's why I like using this particular one because it like again, it has like a circle form at the end of the pliers. So I highly recommend you get these pliers. They work really well. And I will link these pliers in the comments down below so that you can see which pliers they are. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start adding the red beads and the shiny red silver beads. I mean, shiny red beads. And then I just kind of slowly slide them on, make it really easy. Very simple process here. And so while I'm doing this, it may take a little while. I just want to say happy holidays to everybody. I hope that you're going to have a wonderful holiday with your friends and family, and be safe out there, and try to protect yourself if you can from the COVID virus, and be safe out there. The holidays could be stressful, so I just want to keep adding these beads on here one by one. And as I'm doing this, also, I want to mention that, bring some cheer to other people during the holidays as well. It doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Just say hello or Merry Christmas or whatnot. And it just cheers people up. So as I'm adding more beads here. I know this is kind of a long process here. So sorry for this taking so long. I fast forward a little bit, and so now I'm going to pick out a clasp. I'm going to use the rose gold clasp. I bought this cute set on Amazon, and I'll link the information down below in the comment section. This has a rose gold clasp. It has some other jump rings in here, so I'm going to take a jump ring. It has 3 different size jump rings, and some other findings, as well as some extensions in it. So I'm just going to put a crimp bead on, and then I'm going to put the wire through the clasp, and then again through the crimp bead. Same as before the last process. And use the crimping pliers to make that V. Again, don't put the crimp too close to the end of the clasp. You want to have it a little bit loose and kind of hanging. make it easier to put on. And I'm just cutting some of the excess wire because I don't need all this wire. I want to get it out of the way. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of making sure there's enough room, but that it is loose. And I hold on to part of the wire and pull the wire through, kind of puts it a little bit tighter. And then I'm going to go ahead and crimp it and make that V and then close it up. Sorry, was that a little out of frame here? And then I'm going to cut off that excess wire and be careful not to cut the other wire. Just get down close in between the two wires with the cutters. And then you're going to just check it, make sure that it is tight. And then you're going to add your crimp cover. And again, you don't need to have the crimp pliers that I use. You could just use the flat nose pliers to do that as well. I would just try to close it one direction, and then, you know, if it's not completely even, maybe just turn it and try to close it again. Got dry hands, so I keep dropping the crimp cover. Use a little lotion, maybe it'll be not, you know, a little bit easier. My hands are so dry that it just keeps falling out of my hands. So once you get the crimp cover, cover the crimp bead. Once you get the bead cover, the crimp cover in place, you know, use some flat nose pliers or use these similar pliers that I'm using to create a nice round bead and to make sure it's closed nice and tight. And you get a nice smooth closure. Again, I like these pliers. As you can see, it has two indentations here. One is kind of a crimping and the other one is round at the end. And I don't, you know, close it all the way around when I'm putting the crimp cover on. It's just to get it closed and to shape that form. Now I'm using a jump ring for the other side of the necklace. And I basically have a jump ring that opens. So I'm just trying to close it and make sure that it's even. And then that's not going to come off of the necklace. And if for some reason you get a jump ring that is not evenly flush on both sides of the closure, you could use the flush cutters to create a very close flat end on both sides so that it closes nice and tight. I've seen jump rings that, you know, are uneven on one side, and that's basically because, you know, they're made by just using a pair of regular cutters. So one side is, you know, they don't even it out. The other thing you could do is use a metal file to file down the end to make it flat, because you want to have two flat surfaces on a jump ring to close it. So I'm just going ahead and putting on the crimp tube. They call it a crimp tube or crimp bead, and basically the same method that I used before. You're just going to put the crimp cover on, then through the wire, and then put the jump ring on, and then again through the crimp tube. And then you're going to use the crimping pliers to make that V, and then you're going to close that. And then you're going to use a pair of cutters to cut off that extra wire, and just be careful not to cut the other pair of wires. You want to get as close to the crimp bead as you can, so that it's not sticking out. And then you're going to put your crimp cover on just like before, and use some flat nose pliers or some type of pliers to close those crimp covers. Sometimes the jump ring will get in the way, so you just kind of want to hold on to the jump ring and hold the crimp cover in place at the same time, so that you can close it. So as you can see, I'm going to hold on to the jump ring, and as I'm doing that, I'm kind of using my other finger to hold the cover in place, and then I can kind of close it that way. And then again, try to make the crimp cover, completely closed and round so that it looks really nicely finished. And then once you have that done, you'll have a beautiful necklace. Okay, so I've got the jump ring on. I'm gonna put it on the cover, and this is the necklace. It looks really cute. Came out really nice. And I really like it. I also made these earrings with the green beads, and I used 2 of the flower spacer beads in between, and I just did a simple wire loop onto these, and it came out really nice. I really like these. Thank you again for watching my channel. I really appreciate you. I have already created a video for some of the December designs, and I just need to do some editing, so I will definitely be putting that out shortly. And I hope you enjoyed this. Please hit the subscribe button if you liked it. I really would appreciate it. Have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.